Hey, I am Scott, and I'm an American in Starbucks in Bangkok. And I got a letter from a guy. He says, "Hey, a quick question for you following your Thailand changed video. I was in a shopping mall in Hua Hin yesterday and wanted to buy an iPhone charger cable. It was on the top floor, and they have about 50 phone stalls selling all the same products. So I asked one shop how much for the charger cable. It's a cheap fake cable, and in Bangkok it sells for 50 baht. She said 120 baht. I thought I will ask another stall. I went to another stall, same product, same everything. He said 400 baht. I just laughed at him and said, dang, expensive. He said, discount for you, 200 baht, okay? I walked away and shook my head. Are Thais trying to rip everyone off in the big shopping malls now? Hoping I'm a stupid foreigner that has no clue of what price range there is, or what the price range should be? Why so major price difference for the same product with a stall next to each other, all selling same fake chargers, etc.? I feel bad and hope Thailand is not turning into Hong Kong with the shitty money attitude. Thanks for your advice." I got news for you, buddy. Thailand's had the same shitty attitude for 10 or 15 years. I don't know where you've been, but it's always been like this. And when you're in a just because you're in a mall, I mean, these little shops, shops generally, they're constantly moving around, and you'll see one girl working at a place, and then like a month later, 2 months later, she's at a different stall, but it's the same owner or something like that. And they're generally just small businesses. They're trying to make a buck, so they'll try to get whatever they can from anybody. Generally, they don't try to rip the Thais off as much as the foreigners because they figure the foreigners don't know the prices. But I'm here to tell you, I mean, I bought those fake cables for 100 baht, and generally I don't buy them because they're shit, because they don't work very well. You plug them into your computer, and it charges then stops, and of course it opens up your the photo thing on your at least on my Mac, it opens it up automatically, and I don't want that. So what I want is something that's reliable. So when I was in Miami, I lost my cable, and I decided to go to Apple and buy another cable. And, I wasn't going to buy a fake one. I wasn't going to look around in Miami for a fake one. Just figured, hey, spend the money. And I actually got a Belkin's cable, which is authorized to be used by Apple, and it's in their store, and they're selling it. And the reason I got this one is because of how long it is. It's quite long, and I like it because then I'm not tethered to being right next to the plug. So that's why I got that. But listen, my suggestion is to buy the authentic product. But I still have a fake one, and I only use it when I put it into my when I plug it into my portable charger. That's the only time I use it, because I don't want to have to go through, like I said, when you plug into the computer and then it charges, doesn't charge, charges, doesn't charge. If you plug it into this thing, it just charges all the time, and it doesn't have anything to open up. So, but as I mean, like, listen, you're quibbling about 70 baht. It's like, dude, I know that it's the principle and everything, but you got to get past that, and you got to figure things out for yourself like this, because you're talking about $2. It's like getting into a taxi, and the fare is 37 baht. You give him 40 baht, and you're sitting there waiting for the 3 baht, and then he's like, oh, okay, I'll give you the 3 baht back. I mean, generally for 3 baht, I'm not going to quibble. I mean, people who quibble less about 1 baht or 3 baht or a few baht generally do a lot better here. And I'm not saying that you should let them rip you off by any means, but I mean, 50. I mean, what do you want? You want one for like 10 baht now? I mean, why don't they just sell it to you for 2 baht? I mean, you're talking about 50 baht. If it sells for 50 baht, why didn't you? I mean, if it's in Bangkok, that's 50 baht. Which, listen, I've looked around, and a lot of times they're 100 baht or they're 120 baht. And you can say what you want. Maybe you got like one that was just a total piece of shit. I don't know. Um, but I don't usually buy fake stuff. So I try to stay away from that just because of the quality. I want something, for me, my equipment is important. My phone is very important. My phone is important. My cables are important. My computer is important to me. And it's important enough for me that instead of spending 120 baht on a cable, if you go into like Apple, you can get a cable for like 790 baht. Now, if 790 baht is too steep, I don't know. I would say spend 120 baht and then save up the money for the genuine cable. That's what I would do. I mean, listen, I've lost my phone a couple of times. I've had iPhones. I've lost probably 3 iPhones since I've been in Thailand, and generally what happens is I lose the iPhone. It comes as a shock, and I go, oh, do I want to spend 25,000 baht right now? 30,000 baht? Most of the time I'm like, that's going to hurt a little. It's going to sting a little. And usually what I do is I got a little phone, maybe that I bought for 990 baht just so that I had a phone. I just use the phone until I feel like spending the money to buy, or I have the money to buy the iPhone. But I mean, you're quibbling here about a few baht, and I mean, I don't want to sound like you should just let people rip you off, but you're talking about peanuts, and you're actually writing me in pissed off because you couldn't negotiate a deal to save a buck or two. Well, then why don't you, if you need the thing, just buy the damn thing and just don't worry about it. I mean, if you're going to let that kind of stuff get to you, you're going to have a hard time, all right? Now, the same guy wrote me another letter, and he wrote, I watched your video, has Thailand changed? And I wanted to share my experience at the bank yesterday. So, in Hua Hin. So, in other words, this guy's had problems with the phone place and the little phone kiosk, and then he's also had a problem with a bank. At the shopping mall there, I walked in as the bank opened and asked the staff if I can send MoneyGram to UK, and they said, yes, sit down. After 5 minutes of waiting, they came back and said, no, the internet down, system down, everything not working. She demanded I come back at 2 p.m. when somehow she knew it would be working at that time. I knew she was lying, as they tried to have this excuse with me many times before, so I demanded to speak to the manager. Well, first of all, she's not, I don't think that any Thai at a bank is going to demand that you come back. They can ask you to come back, but I don't think she's going, listen, you need to come back at 2 o'clock. Most Thai women are not going to do that, okay? So to me, it sounds a little skewed, a little screwy, all right? Because what they'll do is they go, oh, the internet is down, maybe you come back 2 o'clock, That's how they go about doing it. So the wording you're using doesn't seem right here. So I demanded to speak to the manager. So manager was in the bank. So I demanded she call him. Yeah. What'd you do? You learned how to speak English and write English from the Thais? I mean, come on. While waiting for her to find a manager, she was gossiping in Thai to everyone in the bank about me demanding a manager. The whole bank could hear her yapping away to her friends and laughing about me. After about 30 minutes of waiting, a man comes back from the back room and says, okay, open, send MoneyGram. I'm amazed and say, wow, it's a miracle the internet is working. I knew it was all fine and the previous lady just lied. He said, just open, come on. So I sent my payment to the UK via MoneyGram. I then asked politely in Thai to the lady who lied, what is your name? She just pretended to not understand me and walked away and went to the toilet and then tried to hide until I would leave. I said, look, I want your name to make a complaint as you lied to me. Nope. She would not listen and she was shitting herself. I said, just say sorry. Nope, she won't say sorry. Nothing. dude, I got to be honest with you. You sound like a dick. I mean, really. It's like, first of all, if she says, no, you come back. What I know is a lot of times they have one person or two people in particular who take care of the MoneyGram or Western Union. It depends because certain banks have MoneyGram and certain banks have Western Union. And they also sometimes only will only receive or send money. You can only take money or send money at certain times of the day. And also some banks you can only exchange money at certain times of the day. So you getting all flustered about this, it's like you're wasting your energy. That's what it seems like to me. You want my opinion? I'm giving it to you. All right. Let's see here. I mean, for you to be like, oh wow, now the internet's working. I mean, you don't have to be a dick like that. It doesn't do any good. It's just a waste of energy. Look, I want your name to make a complaint. Okay, first of all, a lot of times they'll do that. They just won't give you their name. But sometimes they have name tags. If they don't have a name tag and you ask for their name, why don't you just go to the manager and say, listen, I want her name? I mean, that's what I would have done if I was going to complain about it, but I don't know that I would have done that. And then you asking her to say she's sorry, that ain't never going to happen. I mean, who are you to tell her, I just want you to say you're sorry. Tell me you're sorry. It's like, you think you're going to make her lose face like that? I mean, do you not know anything about Thailand? Seriously. So I left and went to the mall head office. You went to the head office of the mall. Explained my situation, and the helpful staff came with me to the bank and found the bank manager, and they all tried to force the lady who lied to say sorry, but she would not. Well, why would she? She doesn't have to. For all you know, you don't know that the internet wasn't working. That's the thing. She could have been like, fuck him. The internet wasn't working right. Or maybe it takes them time to get everything rolling, to get the internet started, to get their computer system started, to get everything working. I've had it where I was in Starbucks, and they said to me, oh, we made a mistake with the oven. We can't cook right now. It's going to take another 15 minutes to warm the oven up. Okay, fine, I'll wait. She eventually said sorry in a childish manner, and I said, forget it. That is not from your heart, and you just want to play games. I left the bank without a real sorry. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Really, you sound like a prick. If it was me, and I was with you, I would have been like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. What is your problem? I mean, you're worried about, oh, I gotta make her say I'm sorry. You sound like I used to be. I get on the phone and I would say to somebody, I'd be like, listen, your company sucks. But, they don't care. They're just a messenger. So, I mean, you think she really cares? They're not going to fire her. You know very little about Thailand. I can tell this because, first of all, they're not going to fire her for you. I can guarantee you that. She'd probably have to stick a rod up your ass in order for her to get fired. Because generally, Thais don't get fired. They don't get fired very often. Things are made difficult for them, and they're made to quit. But in a situation like this, it's going to be like, this Farang was a dick. Or he was very difficult, or he speak no good, or whatever. Listen, I mean, if you want to know about, if you really want to understand Thailand, understand that when you're dealing with somebody, if you get pissed off, and you start going, this is bullshit, fuck this, and you start having that kind of an attitude, and the woman will say to you, sir, if you swear anymore, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, or sir, I'm going to hang up on you if you say those words again. She doesn't care about the situation, she cares about how you're speaking to her. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you speak fairly politely all the time, and then you can somehow, if you're shrewd enough and you know how to speak to a Thai person, maybe you can resolve the situation. Now, I gotta say something. Well, let me say something here. let me read the rest of this here. Why do Thai people find it so hard to say a genuine sorry? Thanks and sorry for the long explanation. Well, I mean, listen, how many people truly like to say sorry in a situation like what you're talking about? But, there is a thing in Thailand known as saving face. And while, you can argue that it's outdated or whatever, Thais don't like to say they're sorry. I mean, most of them don't like to say they're sorry, especially if they don't have a lot of interaction with Westerners. If they have that interaction with Westerners, like my wife will say she's sorry to me. Uh, Probably not as much as like anybody else, like in the West, would say if like if they did something. That, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come late or something. She might not say she's sorry for that, but if she does something, like I think the other night she elbowed me in the head. We were laying in bed and she elbowed me in the head, and I was like, "Damn, what are you doing? Clumsy." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I mean, like they don't have a problem saying anything like that because they know we did something wrong. But in this situation, she might not have done anything wrong. Now, I'll give you one more little story here. Yesterday, I was at the the photo lab, and I went in. I said, "Listen, I'd like these films. I want this one, this one, this one, this one. How many?" I said, "I want one of this and two of this." And the woman said, "Oh, what else do you want?" I said, "I'd like some triax." I said, "I just want one roll. I have a couple rolls. I just want one roll of triax." So she had a brick, and she sliced it open, and then she had a box sitting there next to her, and she had to, in order to put the brick up on the wall, they had like these little shelves. Um, she had to cut it open and put the stuff up there. So she's putting it up there, and I'm thinking, okay, well, she's just gonna put this up on the wall, and then give me my she'll give me my one roll that I want, and then I'll be on my way. But instead, what she did was she got the other film from the box, and there was 4 or 5 bricks of film, packages of film, and she started cutting them open and stuff. And then I went, I thought, why is she doing this? She needs to help me. And then I said, I need some batteries also, please. Ka. So she just went right back to what she was doing, and I thought, is this lady ignoring me on purpose, or what is the deal here? And I started getting a little irritated, and I thought, you know what? I need to calm myself because there's only a couple of film places here, and I don't want to alienate anybody here. I don't want to get pissed off. I don't want to cause a ruckus because who knows, they might talk to each other, and I just don't want a problem. And I thought, I'm going to wait another minute. And I waited. And then the phone rang, and she got on the phone. And I was like, this is not good. And I thought to myself, I could just walk out. I'll just leave the stuff here and walk out. And I thought about it for a second. I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stand here, and I'm going to wait till she gets off the phone. And she got off the phone, and she walked over to me, and she goes, okay, so what was it that you want? And I said, I take the roll of the Triax, I'll take some batteries. Oh, okay. So she gave it to me. And I went to go pay, and the girl goes, oh, it's 4% for MasterCard. And I said, I'll go to the ATM. So I go to the ATM, I get the cash. I come back. And the lady's husband walks up. Now, they're the owners of the place. He starts talking to me in English. Hey, where are you from? Oh, Florida. Oh, I've been to Florida. Oh, I've been here. I've been there. I've been there. Oh, yeah. We started talking. He was a very nice guy. And then she chimed in. She starts talking. And I just realized she's probably just a little overwhelmed. And she's just, she's freaking out a little bit. And, if I would have been difficult about it, what would it have done? I wouldn't have got what I wanted. I wouldn't have got my film. I would have had to go somewhere else. And it would have been a pain in the ass. And it's just, you're better off being mellow here. Because whereas in the United States or, elsewhere, you might take things to another level and get aggressive, and get nasty. what does that really do? You know, I mean, I think about it all the time. I think, what does really getting nasty to someone do? It surely doesn't make them feel good, and it doesn't make you feel. It might make you feel better because you vent, but does it get anything accomplished? Do you get your film? Do you get your phone cable? Do you get to send your money? I mean, yeah, sometimes you know the the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but a lot of times they'll just tell you to fuck off, or they'll just ignore you and go sit down in a corner somewhere. Hopefully that helps enlighten some people. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D, lap, jerk it.